Okay, in this video, I'm going to demonstrate a few stretches to help loosen up some of the tissue that limits the overhead shoulder position. I'm using a box or an elevated surface to do all these stretches. The first one is to stretch the front of the shoulder, the tissues in the chest and the front of the shoulder. So I start on my hands and knees with my stretching arm, resting the hand on the box in line with my shoulder, and I'm dropping my chest and shoulder down towards the floor to feel this stretch. Now, I'm controlling this motion with my hand. I'm pushing through the box to rise back up out of the stretch, and I'm relaxing that pressure on the box to drop into this stretch at the bottom as well. And I'll go a couple repetitions and then hold that at the bottom. The second stretch is to stretch the posterior capsule of the shoulder, or the tissues on the back side of the shoulder. So I start behind the box, resting my arm on that box, and I'm trying to bring my shoulder and my chest down to that box to feel that stretch in the back of the shoulder. Again, I'm not forcing this to happen. I'm controlling this with that arm that's resting on that box. So I'm kind of pushing into the box with the elbow and back of the hand to rise up, and then relaxing that pressure on the box to allow myself to drop down into that stretch. Here you can also see that once I'm in that stretch, I'll play with changing my position, rolling my shoulder forwards and backwards, bringing my chest a little bit higher on the box, a little bit lower on the box, just looking for where I feel the most restriction and the most stretch, and I'll hold that position. Now we're going to actually start working on that overhead position. So facing the box, hands on the box, starting to drop my head and chest towards the floor and a little bit forwards towards the box as well here. First, I'm trying to keep some tension through my spine and really keep a flat spine as I do this to feel that shoulder stretch. And again, this is all happening from pushing through the hands to raise back up and then relaxing that pressure on the box to drop into the stretch. Next, I'll do the same thing, but I'm going to try to keep tension through the shoulders and try to focus on letting my mid-back and upper back get a little bit of extension here instead. Really, to get the full position, you combine shoulder and spine motion. And so I like to isolate shoulder motion and then spine motion in this position. And finally, you'll see I'll start to combine the two and really allow my shoulders and my spine to extend to get that maximum mobility. There we go. And last stretch here, I'll do essentially the exact same stretch as I was doing, just with the bent elbow position. So my elbows are resting on that box. My head is just off of the box. This adds a little more muscular tightness, working on flexibility through the lats. It also helps to isolate that thoracic spine, upper spine mobility a little bit more without having to use as much shoulder control to do that. So yeah, I usually like to do both the straight elbow and bent elbow positions for this stretch.